6:30. It's time to call the meeting to order. The first order of business is the appointment of a chair or presiding officer for the meeting. Are there any nominations? Well, we could have a roll call, but usually we have the appointment of the chair. But if Councilman Collison wants a roll call first, we'll have a roll call.
Councilman Roman?
No, are you
Roll
here?
call, just a roll call.
Here, okay. I thought you were talking roll call for appointments.
It's not that quick.
Councilman Knight?
Here.
Councilman Etherington?
Here.
Councilman Knowles?
Here.
Councilman Collinson?
Here.
Councilwoman Nelson?
Here.
Councilman Baker?
Then the next order of business would be the appointment of a chair or presiding officer at this time.
I nominate Attorney Sarah.
Second.
Are there any other nominations? That's with the stipulation that the chair of the meeting will not have a vote for purposes of the selection and the election of the mayor.
Okay, so how would that work if it is a tie?
You add that to, because I will not serve as the chair of the meeting unless there's that stipulation that the chair will not have a vote for purposes of the selection of the mayor. If that's your motion and that's your second, are there any other motions?
That's my motion.
All right. Any other nominees? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. All right, so this is just for the purposes of the next step, which is the discussion and take action for the appointment of the mayor. The first order would be then to take nominations. Are there any nominations?
I would like to nominate Mr. Kevin Knowles.
All right, we have a nomination of Kevin Knowles. Are there any other nominations for mayor?
I second the motion.
No need for a second, but we'll take a second. Is there any other nominations?
I'd like to nominate Ken Collison.
There's a nomination of Ken Collison.
There's a second on the floor. There should be a vote.
No, there's no,
No,
for nominations, there are no seconds. You take the nominations as set forth in the third or fourth memorandum that I sent out. We take all the nominations.
Set by our charter.
Once the nominations are done, then we'll take the vote. The first person that will be getting a vote will be the first person nominated.
Mr. Presiding Officer,
Yes,
may I ask this question?
yes.
You said a nominee has the right to decline.
If the
At what
nominee-
time would that nominee,
The nominee has to decline at the point of the time of the nomination, not when the
so
vote
I
takes.
was nominated, but there was discussion. I declined the nomination.
So Mr. Collison has declined the nomination. Are there any other nominations for mayor? Are there any other nominations for mayor?
Mr. Chairman, there's a second on the floor.
We are taking nominations at this time. Councilman Baker, I rule you out of order. I won't have much time to do that, but I'm ruling you out of order at this time. Are there any other nominations for mayor?
Mr.
Declare-
Chair,
I was going to say, oh, go ahead.
I make a motion to close
I
nominations.
was going to say, we've called it 3 times. The nominations are closed. There is one nominee for mayor. We will take a vote on the nominee for mayor. All those in favor of Kevin Knowles as mayor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Okay. I declare there are 6 ayes, 1 nay. The nomination and election of Kevin Knowles as the next mayor of the city of Martinsburg has been had. The next order is for the new mayor to be sworn in by the recorder, and once he's been sworn in, he will be able to take the seat and conduct the meeting. I will retire.
Please raise your right hand. I, Kevin Knowles,
I, Kevin Knowles,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to support the Constitution of the United States
to support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of West Virginia.
and the Constitution of the State of West Virginia.
I possess the qualifications
Possess the qualifications
prescribed by law
prescribed by law
to hold the office of mayor of Martinsburg.
to hold the office of mayor of Martinsburg.
I am not subject to any of the disqualifications
I am not subject to any of the disqualifications
prescribed by law.
which I will
I will honestly discharge the duties
honestly discharge the duties
of the said office
of the said office
to the best of my skill and judgment.
to the best of my skill and
So help me God.
judgment.
Congratulations, Mayor. Oh, Kevin, I'm sorry.
You have to sign the book. It doesn't count if you don't sign.
Do you need an agenda? Okay, I have extra.
Gotta give me a second. First, I'd like to thank everybody for the confidence in me to become mayor, and I want to thank all those that have expressed interest in becoming mayor. And I want to let you all know that I am going to carry the memory and the vision of Harriet Johnson throughout this 3 years. That being said, we'll get started. J.C., can you lead us in the flag? Can we remain standing, and Councilman Nelson, can you lead us in prayer? Sorry.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for the opportunity to come together. Please lead us, guide us, soften our hearts, fortify our resolve. Please always keep us mindful of your will and serving the community of Martinsburg, West Virginia. We thank you so much for the presence of our police and fire and EMS force and the wonderful staff members that we have across the city. We appreciate very much the citizens who have come out to participate in their government. In your Son's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. We're moving on to 6A, approve June 10, 2021 regular meeting minutes.
Move to approve.
Second.
First and second, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, the same. 6B, approve June 22nd, 2021 special city council meeting minutes.
Move to approve June 22nd.
I'm corrected. Thank you.
Second.
We have a second. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed. Approve administrative and financial report. Approve May 2021 administrative and financial report.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed. Petitions from citizens. Petitions from citizens. This portion will be limited, correct, to 2 minutes?
2 minutes.
And just so that I know that there's been question in the past about the 2-minute mark. That'll be the 2 minutes, all right?
Well, my name's Jim Daly, and I live in
Thank you, Jim. You checking the mic?
Yeah.
Yes.
We did hear you
In
though, Jim.
response to
We
the
did hear you.
47 messages.
We couldn't hear that. Petitions from citizens?
My name is David Anderson, 114 Music Court. I want to congratulate Kevin and wish him the best of luck. Nobody can replace Harriet, but Kevin would do a fine job. I've known him for several years. He's a great guy. Thanks.
Evening, I'm Bill Caldwell at 116 North Tennessee Avenue. To many, the zoning journey has been a struggle, a passionate and hard-fought battle. In the fray, a degree of indignity has surfaced, which I personally regret. Not that I have misrepresented facts or perceptions, but I could have presented my position at times in a less offensive manner. On the other hand, it is natural to react and speak louder when you're being ignored, or to protest with ardor the disregard for a proper and equitable procedure. Some of you stated that you wanted to hear from the people before taking a position. Well, the people said no. Over 630 by petition, and dozens spoke publicly on the record. Yet not one has spoken publicly in favor. Maybe there is a good reason for this. Even with overwhelming negative opinion, you have thus far voted against public opinion, against the will of the people. Though we may disagree, I take some solace in a statement Mayor Johnson once emailed to me. Regardless the outcome, we all love our city and believe we are acting in her best interests. I realize you have made your decision and nothing I say is going to change the outcome. I will do my best then to believe Mayor Johnson is right, that each of you is acting with noble intent. I only ask that you reciprocate, because many who oppose your position are just as noble. In future, we still need to find ways to work together and accept the outcome of contentions. So if your decision today is not the end of this journey, but rather the impetus for continued opposition, please remember we are acting with noble intent. I cannot end without asking you to reconsider and vote no on accepting this proposed zoning document in favor of more changes needed before it is adopted. Thank you.
Petitions from citizens?
Barbara Brattina, 116 North Tennessee Avenue. I request that my name be struck from the steering committee of the zoning rewrite. I cannot support this document. We have been told the proposed zoning is so well conceived, well written, and much better than our current zoning. Well, if this is so, then explain to me why Article 10 of our current zoning cannot be repealed. It's because the consultant in the planning department forgot to write anything about the Historic Preservation Review Commission's procedures and hearings. Really? The experts forgot the HPRC? What else is forgotten? Oh, but they considered every comment. Wrong. I wrote and stated numerous times that the HPRC was missing from the document. So much for considering every comment. Why should just 3 people, a consultant and 2 planning workers who do not live in the city, write our zoning? Your constituents want a say in the direction of our city. Each of you stated that you wanted to hear from the public before making a decision about your vote on the zoning rewrite. You have heard loud and clear our voices. City residents called you, emailed, and told you to vote no. At 2 public hearings, not one person spoke in favor of the zoning rewrite. Each person asked you to vote no. In fact, why should just 6 council members vote on the zoning for our city? We, your constituents, deserve a say in our zoning. Where is our vote on the zoning rewrite? 636 citizens signed a petition asking you to vote no on the zoning rewrite. Respect us. Vote no. Thank you for allowing me my voice.
Kim Unger, I live at 502 Wilson Street. I really don't have anything prepared. I'm just asking from the heart to please do the right thing. Do what's in your heart and say no to this zoning. You know it's wrong. You know it needs revised, and I've got no problem with that. Just do the right thing and say no, please. Thank you.
Petitions from citizens?
Martha Young, 413 North Tennessee Avenue. You might have already heard from me in your emails. If not, you might want to check it. This rezoning is completely related to receiving grants or withholding existing grants from the federal government. You can shake your heads and deny or lie, but this is the bottom line. You cannot convince me that there is no one qualified in Martinsburg, Berkeley County, or West Virginia to address zoning issues better than someone from the state of Pennsylvania, which, incidentally, is one of the most corrupt states in the country. The state recently released a convicted, self-confessed rapist among numerous other questionable decisions made by their elected official. He should be considered one of the least qualified to determine the zoning needs requirements of Martinsburg. He is the problem, not the solution to a questionable problem. Again, he is here to see that we all fall in line with federal wishes so this council can brag about the revenue brought into Martinsburg. Each one of these rezoning issues should be addressed by its own merit, not combined into one big bad issue. This also creates a pathway for infiltrating our city with unvetted illegals by providing unlimited occupancy in single-family homes. Again, part of the federal government's master plan. This increases the need for more social services, which will cost us more than we gain. Loss of lower-paying jobs on which many in our community depend just to exist day to day, not even to mention the increase of crime that already exists as a major problem in Martinsburg that you failed to address. You are opening the door to even wider, more federal government control in our community. I have, as you may know, have created a tally board that will be displayed on my front lawn. It will be shown on an 8x4 plywood board, the results of each of your votes. A yes vote will earn you a big red X by your name. The board will stay in place as the results of your votes
2 minutes
affect our
are up, ma'am.
city. Voting no, voting yes is an act of Judas, and you know what Judas did.
Any more petitions from citizens?
On this zoning rewrite.
Can you give us your name
Oh, I'm
and
sorry.
address?
I apologize. My name's Roy Young, 413 North Tennessee Avenue. On this zoning rewrite, if this is so fantastic, if this is the greatest thing since sliced bread, why is there not just as many people here crowing its efforts and telling us what a wonderful thing it is? I would love somebody to tell me what's so great about this. All I've heard is what the negatives are, and the negatives are very negative. So how can you guys sit there and justifiably vote yes for this when not a single soul has come up to give you the go-ahead for this? We are your constituents. We are the ones that cast votes for you guys. And if you vote against the will of the people, we will figure out a way for you guys not to sit in these seats any longer. So where are all the people that love this? They probably don't live in this state.
Any more petitions from citizens?
Yeah, my name's Henderson. and I live on 211 West Burke Street. Is this on?
Yes.
Okay, good. I really don't know what to say. I sort of agree with Barbara Bettina. It's a flawed document created by mercenaries. People are paid to do this, out-of-state people. Where is this guy, anyway? Is he here today? No. Yes, I don't know. The ones of you people who are voting yes to this, have you tested the implications of what you're doing? I doubt it. Anyway, I'm just depressed by it. Oh, congratulations, Mayor, by the way. I'm depressed by what I hear and what I see. The voice of the people is clear, no. And you can sit there and say yes. I don't know how you do that. Anyway, no.
Any more petitions from citizens? Petitions from citizens?
Carissa Antone Traxler, 517 West John Street. Congratulations, Mayor Knowles. Very excited for your and for the city for the leadership that we have. So thank you for your service.
Thank you.
I think for me, my main concern, should this new zoning pass, and again, I communicate as respectfully as possible, I don't quite understand how my home, as promised in the certified letter, will be protected. There's a bullet point that says, protects existing single-family neighborhoods while permitting mixed housing types in traditionally mixed housing type neighborhoods. And I'm having a hard time understanding what that protection will look like. And I would really appreciate someone to please help me understand that promise. And that's that at this point, assuming this does pass, which I personally wish we had more time to make some more changes, but of course we don't have the power, you all have the power, and we respect the power. I feel better knowing what that promise would look like, please. Thank you.
Any more petitions from citizens?
Good evening. My name is Samuel Jacob Traxler III of 517 West John Street. And thank you for this time to speak. And congratulations, Mr. Knowles, for your appointment. And I just want to say a few things. That I know that you, Mr. Knowles, was voted twice no against the second and third readings of this new zone rewrite here in these council room. And I've read a few of the things, and I just think we need to take some time, be patient, and like others have said, that there's things that are not included in this document that probably need to be included, and that we need to watch out for our city. I feel that there's a lot of things that are not being enforced in our city, whether it's rental properties being not held to a standard, that are in disrepair, and that need to come up to some kind of code. And I think if we pass this zoning, that there's going to be a lot more problems within our city. A lot more hazards, a lot more fatalities due to poor living conditions. And that's what I'd like to say.
Thank you. Petitions from citizens? Petitions from citizens? Seeing none, we'll call the end of the portion of the petitions from citizens. Moving on to presentations. Do I have any presentations? No presentations tonight. Item 10, receive and file reports, minutes, correspondence to the following, 10A through 10E.
Second.
We have a first, we have a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Reports of council as a whole meeting. There is none. Report of mayor. I'd like to schedule a special city council meeting for Wednesday, July 28th, for purposes of approving fiscal year 2020-21 budget revisions per state code and other businesses as needed.
Mr. Mayor, what time? There's not a time on this.
5 o'clock?
Yeah, I have it for 5.
Okay. Thank you.
I will not be in town either.
So we'll have things set up for them to call in? Yes. Okay, thank you. I'd like to schedule a council as a whole committee meeting for Tuesday, August 10th at 5 p.m. for budget purposes and other business as needed. Anybody have any problems with that? Reminder of the scheduling of the August 12th, 2021 regular council meeting to August 19th, 2021, the third Thursday, to accommodate the Municipal League attendance. Report the following vacancies. Human Relations Committee, there's 2. Martinsburg Municipal Building Commission, 3 openings. And Martinsburg Berkeley County Library Commission, 1 opening. Anybody that has an interest for any of those, please see myself or city manager. Report from the city attorney.
Thank you, Your Honor. We have listed an update on the Red Roof Inn. Chief Swartwood, do you have any input on that right now? I believe it appears that maybe one of the members is here also.
Yes, sir, I do. Congratulations, Mayor, City Council, City Attorney. As you recall, back in March, we approached the Red Roof Inn on a public nuisance hearing. At that time, we had 257 CADs, police calls for service, to the Red Roof Inn in a 1-year period. I outlined how significant some of those were. A lot of drug dealing, a lot of confiscations of large amount of quantities of drugs, guns, and out-of-town drug dealers, and numerous other drug calls. I have met with Mr. Patel and other members of the Red Roof Inn on several occasions. And on June 22nd, 2021, we again went over for that 1 month the calls and CAD sheets for service, going from April of 26. There had been 15 calls for service, 15 CADs in 1 month. I've given you the list of them. They are significantly of less offenses, as you can see from the list that was provided. The drug dealing has gone down, and the people that were congregating outside of the Red Roof Inn and trying to acquire drugs and all, my people, the police, have reported that it has been less and less. There are not the amount of people that were there. We put a bunch of sanctions with the Red Roof Inn that we wanted to see accomplished, and they did, in fact, do all of these. Some of the things that they have done, they were given at the council meeting advised they did have an employee now that is a security officer, Patrick Teat, that works Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. in the morning. They advised they are not accepting local area residents for the motel, and they made a considerable difference in the problems or calls for service. Some of the other things that they did above what we were asking is they developed their camera system to be much better. They have many more cameras that look into the common areas and out on the grounds and parking lot of the Red Roof Inn. They even provided us with the IP address so we, the police, could also view these areas and that are recorded to see if we needed real-time viewing of that area of the Red Roof Inn. We can dial into it as well, which we have seen, and it is up and working. The security guard is for real. He is there. And the steps they have taken have decreased dramatically the types of calls for service to the Red Roof Inn and the number of calls for service. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that's what exactly we were hoping to do. We were hoping to bring that area, which was one, and I told you, it's one of the worst drug areas I got in the city of Martinsburg at that time. We were simply having so many calls for service, and we were generating them with search warrants and arrests. That has since come back into compliance for a good deal. However, my suggestion is we are going on the right path. Mr. Patel agrees. We are going on the right path. We are doing good service. But it is at the will of council. But I would like to see, as the chief of police, to continue going on this good path and to at least hold them at least 30 more days through the heat of summer to see that they too continue in good spirit and in good faith doing what we are asking them to do for at least 30 days. You all have the power to make it longer. You all have the power to make it shorter. Not at all. But I'd hope you would hear what I'm saying. As a police department, we would like to keep them on a good path of doing exactly what we're asking to bring it into compliance, which is good for that hotel, which is good for the city, which is good for my police department, and good for all those involved. So that's where we're at, sir.
Thanks, Chief.
Can I ask
sir.
a question?
You bet.
So if you had 257 calls for service in 1 year, and you divided that by 12 months in a year, then that's 21 calls for service per month on average. And right now, it's about 15?
It's not quite.
5?
Not quite.
Okay. So,
The
I mean, if
difference-
they keep doing what they're doing, it's going to keep getting better, right? So we could
Correct.
hold them accountable for another 60 days?
I'm good with that. Whatever time I'm asking for 30, anything over, I'll take and be thankful for it. What I want to definitely stress is that the calls for service, the type of calls we're going on, are not the same calls we were going on before. Yeah, 257 calls when we're going through doors with our SRT team arresting out-of-state armed drug dealers. That's serious. I can't have that. That is a recipe and a tragedy about to happen. Those were the type of calls we were dealing with predominantly, those type of calls. The type of calls that have since been are considerably of less violence, of less natures. Some of them being trespassing, welfare checks, attempt to locate, suspicious vehicle information, stolen license plate, and suspicious activity. And I give credit, the suspicious activity was called in by their personnel. They called us, which is one of the things we stressed. You notify us of problems, and they have been doing that. So are the numeric calls? Yeah, they're good. They're getting better, but the type of calls have greatly decreased, and that's what we were looking for.
That's encouraging to hear.
Agreed.
If they keep doing what they're doing, then it's naturally going to get better. But to take the scrutiny off of them now is probably premature, or maybe even in 30 days. But
I
it
agree.
shouldn't even matter at 6 months from now. If they're still doing what they're doing, then word's going to get out amongst the criminals that they are just not welcome here.
I welcome any additional time that this council puts on. I definitely think it's in the right track, and I understand to keep people's toes to the fire a little bit. But I also want to be fair. I'm asking 30 days, anything additional, I welcome that, to keep that same presence going forward.
Chief, I have a question, then I would like to give the floor to Mr. Patel if he'd care to. These 15 calls and these types of calls, compared to other hotels in that area, where does that rank, would you say? These types of specific, not before.
I have to tell you, the Red Roof Inn still stimulates the most calls for service. The hotels around them, I get significantly less calls. I'm not going to tell you that there's not some drug calls, but the rapport that I have, and I'll use the Holiday Inn for example, with the general manager, Tom Belfield, we've had a relationship for years. He calls immediately. He calls me immediately of any problems he's having or any even suspicious drug activity he's having, and allows us to help in any way we can, and allows that hotel to help us in any way they can. So that is what I can tell you. They are still probably the leader in these hotels in calls for service, but it's of such a less nature than what it was. I feel very confident that we're going in the right direction.
Thanks.
Yes, sir.
We'd like to hear from Mr. Patel if he'd care to. And then if we have any questions, feel free.
I got one for him.
Just state your name and your address for the record, please.
My name is Jatin, last name Patel. I'm from 209 Viking Way, Red Roof Inn, and we are working very hard to reduce the calls, and not just a call, but in the nature of the clientele that we used to have it. Now we are not taking the the locals. We are not taking cash. We are only taking credit cards. We implemented as a like a camera system and increase the lights, security. So we are seeing, and our business is not affected. It's still same, which is good. So we are doing the right thing, and we see. I mean, like whenever I check my camera from my phone, like I don't see people hanging out outside. Like I just see my regular reports. I just see this like normal thing, which is supposed to go. So, yeah.
It's good to hear that the cost of doing good business is not decreasing your revenues. So that's
Yes,
good to.
because of the summer, now we are getting regular traffic. Because of the last year, because of the COVID, we are not getting any Canadian traffic from 81. But now, looks like things is getting back to normal, and we are getting our regular traffic. So we don't need to allow those nuisance customer and like that kind of people. We can put we are increasing our rate so that those people don't come in.
Well, thank you for the effort you put in, but I think the counselor might have a few questions and then put some stipulations to it. Counselor?
Mr. Patel, I got a question for you. So could you say about the time frame for when you see the most nuisances? Would it be, so to say, in the later hours of the night into the morning?
Honestly, right now, we are not seeing any nuisance at all.
Well, maybe not at this exact moment, but in the past, would you have said it was in the late hours of the night into the morning?
I would say like evening time when people are started checking in.
Okay.
At that time, we see like when people are checking in. At that time, like they still hang outside, and those people who wanted to do the business, they take that opportunity to do the job. So we see nuisance in the evening time. But again, as I said, like we are restricting those people so that those dealers don't do anything, and which like, we have security peoples over here. So.
And the only reason I said that, I want to commend you for what has been done to, lower your calls for service. I'm just still not a fan of having the security guard stop at 1 a.m. That's my big thing. I mean, just common sense tells you that people that are going to do shady things are going to do it when it's dark. The time of the night for the the calls that we had been receiving in the past. Suspicious drug activity is typically going to happen, in the early morning hours. So I mean, I commend you for it, but I mean that's just my thing. Still, I think that 1 a.m. is too early of a call for the security guard to head out for the night.
So,
that's just me.
But we have a 24-hour front desk as well. Now they are trained now. Okay, so when the security guard is not there, it's not like the front desk is not there. They're doing the roundup. They're, we have the call sheet record. They need to do the roundups, and it is. I mean, you can see that at the nighttime, we don't see any activity because in the daytime we are not allowing that customer.
Yeah, and to go back, I like the 60-day idea to give some time for us and for you to get used to everything that's going on.
No problem.
Does anybody have any other questions? Is that something we need to take action on?
I think that the action would be to continue the hearing for another 60 days with the intent that if things continue to improve as they are, to dismiss it at that time.
And can we get another report at the next monthly council meeting?
Absolutely, absolutely, and I thank you, absolutely.
So we would need a motion to continue it for 60 days.
So moved.
A second? I have a second?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? See you in 2 months.
Thank you.
Good luck. Keep up the good work.
Yep, thank you.
Let's move on to unfinished business.
Report of city manager.
Oh, I'm sorry. Report of city manager.
Thanks, Mayor. Just very quickly, I think most of you are aware of this through the report that we put out on a monthly basis for projects, technology, economic development. Just a real quick update. You were notified that the new website, I believe, is up and running, still a little bit under construction. Thanks to Andy, Gene, and staff for getting that up and running. It has a lot more tools that the public can use to access and get public information. The Facebook page continues to be a great tool that was put in place. A lot of information on there as the public can grab into that page, the city's page. There's updates on there every day about meetings and projects and issues or whatever it may be, pretty much at that moment. Gene and Andy keep that up pretty well. So those are two nice tools to continue to use, and they'll continue to grow.
Along with that, if you don't mind mentioning, the
Sure.
Gov Delivery, where
Yep.
you can sign up for the subscription service on the various topics that you might be interested in.
That's
I think it's Martinsburg.
Martinsburg, comma, West Virginia, spelled out, dash, City Hall.
You can link to it
Martinsburg,
from our website.
comma,
Yeah.
West Virginia, dash, City Hall.
two good tools. Martin Street project, still, light at the end of the tunnel on that project as they're starting to wrap up. Utility work's really starting to wrap up, allowing the contractor to move much quicker now. The East Martin Street parking lot begins Monday, the 26th. We're getting ready to notify the public, put notices on cars in and around that area that they can park at the train station, since that lot's pretty much available right now to accommodate parking in that area. The streetscape, we have a proposed engineering design concept on our desk to review with Alpha, and then get to the state of West Virginia to get an agreement to do the design for the streetscape. I believe Alpha's working on the underpass bid specs for the underpass project as we speak. Silling continues to work on the initial design concepts for the City Hall renovation, as well as the parking lot across the street that you authorized. North Alabama, North Georgia, Stephen, et cetera project that you authorized last month. It just kicked off 2 days ago. If anybody gets a chance, if you want to watch that neighborhood transition to what you all are looking to do in the future with projects before paving, curbs and gutter pans and improvements in neighborhoods, this is probably your pilot project to watch. They're probably halfway down with 50 trees coming down, 25 more to go, and replanting in the future. But you'll see that transition to that neighborhood and what that'll look like 4 months from now. That's it on the project updates. Water tanks out to bid for painting that you authorized. Hopefully those bids will be opening on your next agenda for approval, probably August, not July 28th. The Public Works building is probably whatever percentage design that is that Jeff and Kim are reviewing as that comes through CEC for construction of the new Public Works stormwater building. Any questions?
Two comments. One, I want to thank Gina and Andy for the work that they did on the website. That website is
It's nice.
long coming and long overdue, so thank you so much for the hard work that you did on that. The other thing I wanted to ask, Councilwoman Nelson mentioned a couple Facebook pages. How many Facebook pages does the city have?
One.
We control one.
But Facebook allows people, we can't control anybody that just decides to say City of Martinsburg.
But ours is listed as City Hall. Was that correct?
No, Martinsburg, comma, West Virginia, dash, City Hall. That's the name of
Okay,
the
so City
Facebook
Hall,
site.
City Hall is in it. The others aren't?
The name City Hall is in it at the
Okay.
end.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. All right, thank you. Let's move on to unfinished business. 15A, third and final reading of ordinance 2021-07, repealing Articles 1 through 9 inclusive, and Articles 11 and 12 of the February 1970 zoning ordinance, and enacting to the City of Martinsburg Code, Part 13, Articles 1 through 6 of the zoning ordinance of the City of Martinsburg.
So moved.
We have a motion.
By title only?
By title only.
No.
No. An ordinance repealing Articles 1 through 9 inclusive and Articles 11 and 12 of February 1970 zoning ordinance and enacting to the City of Martinsburg Code, Part 13, Articles 1 through 6, the zoning ordinance of the City of Martinsburg.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
No.
B, third and final reading of the ordinance 2021-08 to amend and reenact certain sections of the City of Martinsburg codified ordinance at Part 3, Traffic Code, Section 365, parking meters.
So moved.
Moved in second.
By title only.
By title only?
An ordinance to amend and reenact certain sections of Article 365 of the City of Martinsburg parking meters.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? So moved. 15C, third and final reading of ordinance 2021-09 to amend the codified ordinances of the City of Martinsburg at Part 5, General Offenses Code, Section 505, Animals and Fowl, to repeal Article 505-11, Kennels, and to enact a new Article 505-11, limit to 2 adult dogs. By
So
title
moved.
only?
So moved by,
Second.
An ordinance of the City of Martinsburg City Council to repeal and replace Part 5, General Offenses, Section 505, Animals and Fowls at Article 505-11, Kennels.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? No. Make note, one no. Moving on to new business. 16A, approve and deny resolution 2021-18 concerning coal severance tax fund budget revision number 1 for fiscal year 2021-2022.
move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Approve and deny recommendations of Audit Procurement Committee, Kozicki, Hughes, Tickerhoff, PLLC for fiscal year 2021 and fiscal year 2022 audits at $90,000. We have a motion, second.
Second.
We have a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Approve and deny recommendations for garbage truck for City of Martinsburg Public Works Department, Freightliner Western Star of Hagerstown, $156,028 plus $800 towing and recovery plan, total of $156,828.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Approve and deny renewal of City of Martinsburg Casualty and Liability Insurance Travelers Insurance Company at $1,033,765.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a move and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Approve and deny renewal of City of Martinsburg Workers' Compensation Insurance and COVA at $254,752.
22.
$22,722. Thank you.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Approve and deny Potomac Edison right-of-way agreement, request forthcoming. What is that?
Excuse me. When the council packet went out for July 8th, that was not in the packet, but did come in that day. That's for a right-of-way agreement. It's in an alleyway. I believe that's on your desk off of South Illinois Avenue area, where they have to put a new pole in and run those wires within that alley right away.
Move to approve. Second.
First and second, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Approve or deny special events permit 2021-13 for People of Worth, Inc.'s Unity in the Community event to be held on July 31st, 2021. Secondary date of August 7th, 2021 in the Town Square Pedestrian Plaza from 2 to 6. And set up cleaning for 7 to 1. Contingent upon proof of adequate liability insurance and payment of any recommended fees for city services.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a first and second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I had no staff concerns and no fee on that, by the way.
And it was 1 to 7 p.m.
Correct. Authorize mayor to execute administrative order on consent between the City of Martinsburg and the United States Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, regarding the City of Martinsburg water waste treatment plant.
Move to authorize.
Anybody have any questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Approve or deny change order number 11 between City of Martinsburg and W. Harley Miller for the train station corridor project for electrical house service at 209 East Martin for $3,417 and 0 calendar days.
Move to approve. Second.
Any questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Approve or deny change order number 12 between the City of Martinsburg and W. Harley Miller. Flip the page. For the train station corridor project for additional conduit for Frontier Lines at $2,015.
Move to approve.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Approve and deny pay application number 7 between the City of Martinsburg and W. Harley Miller for the train station corridor project, $179,000, $179,720 and 57 cents.
Move to approve.
Any questions? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Approve and deny Resolution 2021-19, approving the amended fiscal year 2020 annual action plan and authorizing the filing of the application with HUD.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Approve and deny submission of the City of Martinsburg amended fiscal year 2020 annual action plan for use of CDBG COVID-3 funds.
Move to approve.
Second. Any questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Approve or deny fiscal year 2018 CHOTA agreement between the City of Martinsburg and Habitat for Humanity for the Eastern Panhandle for Lot 20 at Sage Place, Shepherdstown, West Virginia, in the amount of $73,498.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Discuss and take action as necessary regarding appointment of additional signature authority for the purpose of signing checks. This is what we discussed so that we have a backup for someone to sign checks if something should happen with somebody.
Move to strike from the agenda.
We have a motion to move it from.
Second.
We have a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Anybody opposed? No. One no. Emergency agenda item, approve or deny emergency HVAC replacement at Caperton Station, train station for $22,000, Rizzo Heating and Air Conditioning. Somebody want to talk about that?
Yeah.
Yes, the building code officials, Chuck Klingon, reported that right now the air conditioning obviously is not working at the train station facility and has not been for the last several weeks, 2 to 4 weeks, so to speak. Rizzo Heating and Cooling, they typically service all of our units at the city on a quarterly basis. They change out the filters. They do a lot of the maintenance work, minor projects. They've also been awarded some bids for the major work, but Rizzo is very familiar with these units as he does the service and the upkeep. It's a double furnace in the basement area, AC compressor unit previously located in the attic above the women's restroom in the closet. This is a unit that heats and cools the lobby area and downstairs of the main train station. If we elect not to do the emergency quote that he provided, you're looking at a good 60 days by the time you go out to bid, authorize, get back to you all, and order parts, and so to speak. So Mr. Rizzo from Rizzo's has said that he has the parts ordered. Some are guaranteed to be here ASAP. Some are no guarantee until yet he gets the phone call back from the company because of parts in the industry. So we thought it was just an emergency to get this rolling in case we have a lag in parts and getting this installed, because it is air and heat.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any questions?
You said it's for 2 units?
It's a double furnace, so yeah.
Any other questions? We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? I believe that I need a motion to go into executive session for legal.
Yes.
Second.
We're going in, right? Click it.
In real estate.